open doors. Here I am now. Where I am now. I'm getting special place. Until it won't be place. Where I am now. It's now time for the most talked about radio show in the whole wide world. That's FYI Radio Show with your host, Miss Yolanda, the Lady Hinton. I'm Ed Everett, the co-host. The music that you hear in the background is none other than Miss Yolanda, the Lady Hinton, where I am now. And if you'd like to see us live in WGPL 1350, WMVA 88.9 studio, all you have to do is go to Everette's Facebook page, Miss Yolanda, the Lady Hinton Facebook page, and you can see us live right here in the studio. And if you want to hear us all over the globe, all you have to do is go to 1400 AM, 1350 AM, click and listen live. And now I want to introduce to some and present to others the host of the most talked about radio show in the whole wide world, Miss Yolanda, the Lady Hinton, and a pleasant good morning to you.
Good morning, Mr. E. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood.
Would you, could you, will you be my neighbor?
Let's welcome our neighbors, our WGPL 1350 AM listeners.
Peace, 95.3 FM, WMVA 88.9, and WPCE 1400 AM.
Facebook Live is on and popping. Let's also welcome Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Instagram. Make sure you like, share, comment, and subscribe. We'll shout you out later on in the show.
Like, share, comment, and subscribe.
Please like, share, comment, and subscribe. Go right over there right now to our Cristo Records One, CRISTO Records One at YouTube. You can subscribe right there, but make sure you follow us. Make sure you say something to us, and we will shout you out. We promise.
Shout out.
Who, Mr. Eve?
Yes.
What day is it today?
Today is hump day.
What a nice hump day. A nice song. Sounds like a nice song.
Yeah,
Mr. Eve.
yeah.
Ooh, it is a wonderful day right here. It's a little chilly here in the Hampton Roads area, but it's all good.
It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood.
It's a wonderful day in the neighborhood.
Would
and
you,
we thank
you?
God for a new day. We're on the new mercies. Mr. E, this is our Wednesday segment. What's under the hat? Issues concerning you men.
That's right. We got issues concerning the men to help the men to rise above mere survival. And just in case you want to know more about a man, open up your ears and turn your volume up.
Yeah, they'll tell all their secrets.
No,
but
they won't.
nevertheless, we have a very special guest. He's so special to us. And we feature him on our Sports Talk segment. But he's here today. We're going to talk about men's issues. We have Mr. Brian Fuller. He is a wellness coach, mentoring and counseling. And we want to say good morning to you, Brian.
And good morning to you.
You sound so good.
And Mr. E, how are you two doing?
I'm doing good. I know I'm doing fine. Mr. E, how you doing?
I am wonderful, wonderful, wonderful.
I can tell Mr. Brian Fuller is still smiling through the phone. But we want to say thank you so much for being on our segment, Men's Issue. What's under the hat?
Yes, it's always a pleasure to be in the company of two great people yourself.
Thank you.
Mr. E, you said today we talk with mental health.
That's right. That's right. Today it's the subject that we'll be dealing with will be what's under the hat, issues concerning men, a special segment that we were talking about mental health of men.
Well, Brian, tell us a little bit about yourself, and then tell us about your experience with speaking with men about wellness, health, and wellness, and and counseling.
Okay. Yes. Well, I've been involved in the field of mentoring, counseling from it goes way back over 20 years ago. I am a native of Oklahoma,
Yes.
north of Texas, where Mr. Steve Cowboys reside. But in the southern Oklahoma area, I do wellness coaching, mentoring, part of a nonprofit called Strength in Numbers, where we seek out to reach particularly young men and boys who have been affected from all forms of mental health. And I go at it at a holistic approach.
Yes.
It's definitely, particularly in the African American community, where the trauma stems from poverty,
Wow.
being born with chemically imbalanced, coming in from the crack era epidemic. So there's so much violence, unemployment, disease, and like I tell people, particularly men, we here in America, we know that we want to be considered the breadwinner.
Yes.
There's so many labels that men put on themselves, and at the root of it, still bears unhappiness,
Yes.
depression,
Absolutely.
anxiety. And so when we go on this week, it covers while we're looking for the bank to make money on top of money, we have to check our spiritual deposit.
Yes.
Because we're not just physically flesh and bone.
Mm-hmm.
We know that mentally and spiritually, we have to make sure we are in the top excellent
Mm-hmm.
condition that we can be.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Brian, Mr. E made a statement the other day. He said all men have mental health issues. Would you agree with that?
Yes, I definitely would agree with it. Men, and I know that, like we say, it can stem from particularly, and I know men in general, I know that African American men are very stigmatized, that we have to deal with a lot of pressure to provide for your family. If you are uneducated, if you don't have a degree, you don't have a social status, all of these effects. And it's just the image.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
That's why I always institute from the spiritual aspect, because it doesn't even matter. We know that you can be a millionaire, billionaire, gazillionaire. There still is some form of not having peace
That's right.
Wow.
within themselves. The pressures of, then you have everybody wants something. People are climbing up on.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's a non-stop in the material world. So yeah, most definitely, and I agree with that statement.
Brian, in my studies, I found out that this mental health and mental illness stems all the way back from slavery. When there were slaves, men had to stand by and see their families being destroyed, being whipped, being ostracized, being tore up, their women, their babies, and all that. So that's pressure that comes on the mindset of men. Brian, tell our listening audience, why is men mental health important?
Having good mental
First
health.
of all, being as a leader, of ruling yourself when it comes to self-love, self-care, there is not a thing of being selfish when it comes to getting your own mind, your own kingdom in order as the Creator had intended to be. When we go to the beautiful creation story of Adam and Eve, we know that in the beginning, we know it was all good. It was perfect. So we cannot ever in our minds imagine that we can't obtain true peace and harmony regardless of the traumas that may come upon us, because there have been so many stories that we know this has happened in the human experience. Job is a great example. We have to be on our job as spiritual beings, physical beings. We have to have all of our entities, principles, morals aligned. And I know E and Miss Hinton, it's not an easy task.
Yeah.
As you said, this is stemmed back in the African American community through the times of slavery, post-slavery. As we know, it has been an attack, psychological, spiritual, to an African American male and women as well. I'm not going to exclude women, but I know that the topic today is about the mental health of men. And so that's a lot. When we look over trauma for generations,
Absolutely. Yes. I wanted to go ahead. I wanted you to keep your thought, and then Mr. E has something I'm sure he wants to inject. But I wanted to touch on your specialty and ask the question: seeking God, do men shy away from finding spiritual help?
Yes, indeed. Particularly, I find with the young men from 18 to 25 now, present day social media, they call it the age of information, where you can go on TikTok, you go on Instagram, Facebook, social media, and there's every religion, philosophy, ideologies are out there. And I noticed from my talking and mentoring young men, a lot of them, their parents, grandma is getting older, grandma's gone, they know their mother or father, they don't go to church, any type of spiritual institution. As my generation, or maybe the generation before me, which probably be Pastor E, the baby boomer generation, where we know that, hey, we are going and trained up and raised up to go to church, whether you like it or not.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Out. So we were able to get those seeds. We were able to, sure, you have your choice and your free will in life. But I notice a lot of the young men now, they feel like, oh, it's not any truth in the church. It's not any real in the church. They don't have a clue.
That's right.
Yes.
That's right.
They do not have an idea. So, and I understand a lot of the young men are being the head of the household at 16, 17, if there's not a father in the home. The basis of their home is fragmented.
Yes.
It's not in order. And a lot of them are chemically dependent on some type of pharmaceutical.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow. Some of them, their mothers were, they are what they would call crack babies.
Yeah.
Meth babies. And that's the shame, because they're already diagnosed with some type of deficiency or disability. Now, I don't agree with that diagnosis, because I do know that, there's all things are possible. All things are possible. So we just have to, as we do, in strength in numbers, we institute a lot of principles that, the guys make affirmations. That's another thing we can do. We make affirmations daily.
Yeah.
I will not be a depressed person. I see joy in life. You know, being thankful. So that's the approach that I try to take towards the young me.
That's wonderful.
Who have a more negative approach towards, spirituality.
You know, Brian, this is a serious subject, and folks may not never understand that because they used to people acting out and say that's normal. Really, it is not normal. As I begin to do some research and some studies, I'd like to know from you, Brian, what are some of the symptoms of mental disorder in men?
The shutting down.
Wow.
Shutting down, that's top of the line. Why do men shut down, Brian?
That's top of trust, from having trust with someone who you can confide in. It's majority of men, it should be your woman. If you have a wife or a partner who can understand and may not be traumatized themselves. So, sometimes it's a lot of toxicity that exists as well in this present day.
I want to name
go ahead.
I want to name a few of them, Mr. Brian and Mr. Fuller. Let me know if some of these symptoms of mental disorder in men is common. Anger.
Yes, anger.
Irritability.
Yes.
Aggressiveness.
Yes.
Noticeable change in moods.
Yes.
Energy level.
Oh, you on point, Mr. E with your research.
Appetite.
No appetite.
Yes.
Difficult sleeping.
Yes.
Or sleeping too much.
Yes.
Any more of those symptoms that you like to add in there that folks can be aware of mental disorder in men?
Yes, you covered all of it. And I get it, sometimes you say, well, guys frustrated from work, or, you have a ball game, you lose, how we get upset, but taking it to heart where you notice that this is a behavior, a pattern. Because, I tell guys all the time, hey, man, why are you so angry? Do you have a job? Yeah, it might not be the one you want. But you're living, you're breathing, you're here because some young man or woman didn't make it.
Yeah, that's
so, I have to always remind them, like, why are you this? You upset? And I know it's emotions. Young men need critical thinking. They need to sit down and continue to be mentored by more men.
And that's definitely a good point. I was going to ask you about mentoring, about brotherhood, about looking after those that need that male figure. There are so many things that's lacking, and it causes a deficiency, and it causes men to worry. And again, those things that Mr. E was talking about, those symptoms of anger, irritability. Here's a few more: misuse of alcohol and drugs, sadness. All those emotions. And then sometimes, Brian, the fact that people don't have anyone to talk to, and so they're processing things and thoughts and emotions, and they don't know how to express or get it out what they're feeling or what they're going through. It is important for men to have mentors.
Yes, you're absolutely right, Ms. Hinton. That is now, and it can be a battle. Men have to remain the brothers that are trying to be leaders. They know they are leaders with a purpose and their direction. You have to be courageous. You have to be strong.
Here's a two-part question that I want to ask you, Brian. One,
yes, sir.
in the African American community, are we ashamed of of all those symptoms that we have, but that we know about, to get help, and can it be treated?
Yes, it can be treated, and yes, people are ashamed. I
Yes.
run across clients, particularly 9 out of 10, they'll shut down at first because they are ashamed that they're depressed. They're ashamed that they can't provide for their family. They're
Wow.
ashamed because they have a learning disability. This is all the pressures that society, it'll put on a person who has a mental disability, who's depressed. So yes, and it takes time. I use, we know as a method, it takes time for therapy, but there are, and there have been individuals who have maintained and came up out of the anxiety or depression or suicidal thoughts.
Yes.
There's anger management as well. And it just goes with a lot of people who are determined to, go through the courts,
Yes, absolutely. It's recommended that men have a lifestyle change, that they begin to take care of themselves more. Just like you mentioned earlier, self-care. You can help others, but you definitely need to take care of yourself. Exercise, meditation, good eating habits, and just a change. This is the beginning of a new year, and it is a good time for men to really start looking at themselves and possibly doing things differently, as well as seek help, because they said, Brian, that even though women suffer with a lot of trauma, much more, said men go to the dark side, and they are usually the ones that attempt or commit suicide.
Yes, very, very, the numbers are extremely high, too high, for especially particularly for men and then African American men. Now, there's so much of an influence of trying to, we're finding a lot of powers to be. So, I always recommend meditating first and foremost. That's very key. And you guys are coming with some good stuff, and I'm hoping that people are listening, particularly men, that know that it's okay.
Yes.
Talk to someone you trust.
Absolutely.
Talk with your creator.
Yes.
I'm guaranteeing it will lift so much about us. So much stress and pressure. You can talk with yourself or someone.
Absolutely. Brian, as we grow up and as we was growing up as young men, young boys growing up in this world, there was a thing that they said, you're not a real man if you don't cry. Are men supposed to cry?
Ooh. Let those tears, let them fall.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let them fall. Because, the occasion may hurt. If the tears of joy, let them. I tell the men all the time, hey, we can cry tears of joy.
Yes.
Then there's a time of sadness.
Yeah.
Everything under the sun.
Absolutely.
It doesn't make you weak. To me, that's not a characteristic. That's what I encourage men. That's not a characteristic of being weak.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. There's help, there's hope. You may suffer from a little, mental disorder. It could be in degrees. It may not be over the top, or it may be over the top, but there's counseling, there's just like Brian said, prayer, there's mentoring, their God. You need to go to God anyway because you need to be connected to the source. And he's the one that can really make you more well-rounded and heal you through the word, through, through having you to learn more about who you are. Some people don't know who they are. They around here searching, what am I? Who am I? What do I have to do? They're confused. Some of them haven't been taught like they should. But there is good news. There is a remedy, and there's definitely help for those that need it. Brian, we appreciate what you do. Why did you get into this field? You said you do it through the holistic, avenues. But why did you feel the need to reach out and help men and boys?
Well, Miss Hinton, I had left the hometown, like a lot of us do, to once we go off and pursue our dreams out of school. And I never would imagine that a lot of my classmates during my middle years of 20 to 30, I was hearing all your classmates actually. Your classmates had overdose. You had your friends. There was so many horrific stories incarcerated. And I was just thinking to myself, when I come back to Oklahoma, there has to be some type of change. I see a purpose for the next generation, because it was a repetitive cycle of the same things: poverty, incarceration, unemployment, disease, drug abuse. And I said, maybe I can shine a light.
Yes, absolutely.
I was persistent with it, and through the good grace and glory to God, we're able to link up with some like-minded men, and we were able to have a non-profit organization, and our dreams came true. We're able to mentor boys and do things through grants, through funding, and it's been a blessing.
Tell us the name of the organization.
Strength in Numbers.
Wow.
Foundation.
Yeah, that's wonderful.
Oklahoma.
Yes.
And the Men of Integrity, another group of men that I deal with. A brother named Paul Murray is the founder in Dallas, Texas, and we deal with the spiritual man. A seven-step course, and like I say, it has different principles. And it's just something else positive. It's dealing with all spiritual deals. We work out. We want our biceps big. We want our chest big. But we have to work on our spiritual, mental, emotional things as well.
That's wonderful.
Absolutely.
That's wonderful.
Wow.
Brian, I got some information here about just in case someone out there need to talk to a counselor or anything. There's a telephone number, or you can text 988. That's what they call suicide and crisis line. That's 988, or you can call 988 or chat on 988lifeline.org.
Absolutely.
And if life-threatening situations, call 911.
Absolutely.
Just in case.
We have some federal resources that we will post, and we will make sure you all get information if you need. Also, Brian, you can give us the contact information for your organization.
Yes, it's on social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram. I think one of the guys might be on the Snapchat. I don't deal with all that. They're on those social media platforms, and I just have to post my cards and information on the next time I get to speak with some great people.
Well, we want to say thank you so much for being on. Keep doing the work that you're doing. So many people can and will be helped. You all,
thank you, Brian.
Thank you for joining us on today. Just come over here just a little bit, and we're going to give you some information on some upcoming shows. Be blessed. Have a wonderful hump day.
For the past 30 minutes, you've been listening to the most talked about radio show in the whole wide world. That's why our radio show with your host, Miss Yolanda, the Lady Hinton. I'm Ed Everett, the co-host. Join us Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 9:30 to 10 on WGPL 1350, WMPA 88.9, Peace 95.3, and WPCE 1400. And on all social media platforms. And for more information, you can give us a call at 757-714-7861. And have a wonderful, wonderful home day.
We want to thank Mr. Brian Fuller for being our special guest. He's a counselor, wellness counselor, and they have an organization that just mentors and help young men and men to really get it together spiritually and change their lifestyle and things like that to make sure they are becoming well-rounded. There are a lot of organizations. We have Young Men Achieving Success program that we've done, and there are so many others. They have one, a federal one called Brother, You're on My Mind, the National Institute of Minority Health and Health Disparity Initiative. Then you have Men's Health, the National Library of Medicine, Medline Plus offers resources on the unique health issues men experience. You also have Preventing Suicide Among Men in the Middle Years, recommendations for suicide prevention program. That is there. The Suicide Prevention Resource Center, go there if you need help. Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration, SAMHSA. Check them out. And why we need to talk about men's mental health. This blog post from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services Office of Women's Health discusses important supporting men's mental health as well. We will post this information so you all can have it. It is important that we work on ourselves, that we heal, that we seek help. You know, even when it comes to small things, because small things can grow, they can get bigger. So if you notice yourself, men out there who are feeling some kind of way and feel like you just can't get it right with just the average little everyday thing, maybe it's time to start talking to other men, or seek out a counselor or a mentor or a pastor. Talk to your pastor, or if you don't go to church and kind of get with people that can help build you up as an individual. Get to a support group and start getting with people that's going to help build you up. Go to the doctor, see if you have any issues physically that's affecting your mental health. And so there's help out there, and on any degree, whether it's little or it's extreme, where people are thinking and contemplating suicide. So there's plenty of help out there.
You know, Ms. Hinton, as I begin to think about this subject that is very important in this day and time on men, and that here's some things that I found out: that men cry, men break down, men get anxiety, men feel insecurity, men get abused, men have emotions, men have mental illness. It is not unmanly to struggle. Let's support men. Let's encourage men. Don't belittle or silence men. Men struggle too.
Absolutely. Yeah. And so the stereotypes on men, it's time for us to get rid of those, tear down those strongholds, because it keeps men from being expressive. Right. Oh, men don't have emotion. Oh, men don't cry. Oh, men don't love the kids. Oh, men don't love to be husbands, and they don't want to be in a relationship. Stop that. There are men that want to be happy, whole. They want to, just like Brian, Mr. E saying, they want to take care of their family. They want to make money. They want opportunity. That's
right. That's
you know what I'm saying? And they want to be understood.
That's right. And not only that, if you think men are not supposed to cry, when a baby was a baby boy began to cry while he was a baby.
Yeah.
So that goes to show you when he was a little boy, it coming out mama's, and he was born, he had tears in his eyes, whether they be tears of joy or tears of sadness,
Yes.
but he still is able to show that emotion. See, I was like that, Miss Hinton. I got to the point where my father and I, we struggled.
Mm-hmm.
And when my father passed away, I couldn't cry.
Wow.
I couldn't show that emotion,
Mm-hmm.
because I was so much upset with my father, but I'm thankful today because that could have did a lot of damage to me,
Yes.
within me, because I could not release
Yes.
that emotion,
Absolutely.
which causes mental illness. And like Brian and I said, men are all over the world. I don't care whether they're red, black, yellow, green, or blue.
Yes.
All men has mental illness.
They have some form, and it's not may not be a degree, but the thing about it, the trauma in life, experiences in life, the lack of opportunity in life, and being misunderstood has really caused men to really kind of like go inside themselves and not know how to figure stuff out. Because people want men to be this macho thing and not have any problems and don't complain, they begin to internalize a lot of things, and it causes
That's
stress
right.
and anxiety and
That's
things
right.
like
The silent
that.
killer.
But like I said, there is help. There are so many support organizations around us. There's the church. There's our friends. There's brotherhood. There's he said women that will support men, and just a lot of things that will help men rise above. I want to say good morning to Lawanda Tillett, Sheila Robbins, Linda Griffin. Linda Griffin said Jesus wept, and she said, so yes, real men cry.
That's
It's
right.
not
That's
a
right.
sign of weakness, and that is absolutely true. Give men a break in the sense of let them be who they are, and let's not take and because the media is guilty of profiling and making men uh, being hard on men and just showing one side of what men are and what they do. All men and people begin to take those things inside them. Oh, all men are dog. All men are no good. We hear that stuff,
That's
especially in
right.
our
That's
community.
right.
We
That's
hear
right.
that stuff. It's like, wait a minute, you don't know all men,
That's
and you
right.
can't coin all men no good and dirty dogs and whatever. We got a group of them that yeah, you can say that, but you don't know everybody, and you don't understand that a lot of men want to be well, they want to do right, they want to work, they want to take care of their children, they want to love their children.
That's right.
And so we've got to be mindful of how we say things when it comes to men.
That's right, Miss Hinton, because you cannot put all men in a category.
Mm-hmm.
Just like they said, call all men deadbeat dads.
Yes.
Not all men are deadbeat
Absolutely.
dads. You got to look at the where you're placing all men, and all men should not be punished for other men's
Yes.
way other men has done. Some of the ladies need to know this, and I want to bring this out real quick. If you've been hurt by some man in one's life, that does not mean that every man
That's
gonna do
right.
the same thing that other man did done to
Absolutely.
you. You'll never be able to build a relationship with any man, or if you continue to look at him as like somebody else. You done got rid of that problem. You done got rid of that person. And so now you got to relax in a relationship so that man that you have can go ahead and be who he's supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
You putting limits on how he can express himself. You putting limits on what to do, what he done. If he make an error, that does not mean he ain't no good. If he make an error, that does not mean that he's like the last man that you have. Listen, start examining man and look at the man that's before you, not the man that's behind you, the man that you done got rid of, not your baby daddy, and thinking that every man is just like your baby daddy. Start looking at men as being total different.
Yes, and learn about who men are. Learn what they do, learn their habits, learn their feelings. They're just like us. We have emotions, we have feelings. We come in a different package, but still, we think, we understand, we comprehend, we see things maybe in a different perspective. But let's give each other a chance. But anyway, there are some things that you all can do besides getting help and going to these national and federal formats. You can change your lifestyle. This is a new year.
That's right.
We got new challenges. You can, set goals and say, hey, I'm going to take care of my mental health. I'm going to take care of my body and my mind and my spirit. I'm going to look out for myself. And that's key in getting well. It's key in good mental health is that you take care of yourself. A lot of people want to take care of everybody, and we do have the responsibility of taking care of this one and that one. We do take on the responsibility of taking care of our children. But you got to take care of your body. You don't have but one. You got to take care of your mind because, hey, it's a terrible thing to waste if you just let it just drift and go. Spiritually, you're supposed to be connected to God. I don't care what you say. And if you're not, you are walking in a dark space.
That's right.
And so, connecting with God is a good idea. Prayer and meditation. You can go to church. You can, you can find people that have want to go on a better and a great moral, code. You don't have to live in Lodabar. You don't have to live in degradation. You can go ahead and reach higher. And so that is going to be key to your mental health, reaching higher, being better, setting goals for this new year in order to be stable and live a wonderful, wonderful, well-rounded life.
Miss Hinton, you said something so key that was so powerful. You said this, and you are right. You are right in everything, right as rain. That you cannot judge a man just like a man, like he's everybody else. Because we raise men. Men come from different backgrounds, different homes, and different places. So guess what? We cannot put all men in that same basket.
Absolutely. We want to say good morning to Chris Hinton. What's the gossip? I tell you what, you all make sure you're looking out for yourself. Make sure you're doing the things that you need to do. Get better habits. Get rid of some of these bad habits. Get a better perspective on life. And be positive. Stay away from a lot of this negativity and negativity things that people are saying, they're putting out in the atmosphere and things like that. But get together with people that love you, care for you, and can nurture you, and you can nurture. I just want to let you all know we have some great shows coming up. We have, it's the end of January, Mr. E.
That's right.
So we have Black History Month coming up, and we're going to have some wonderful Black history stories, guests. We're going to have information about inventions, all kind of things in this month, and we want you all to follow us. Also, our Valentine's Day, we're going to have our Love Guru. I tell you what, we're going to do this fun thing, and we're going to have some letters come in, and we're going to read them, and we're going to answer those letters and things like that. So we're going to have that. We're going to have talking about women and homelessness. We're going to talk about
couples,
and we're going to talk about taxes,
political,
money, incarceration, real estate, and everything like that. So you all, we want to thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much for your support. We're going to see you on Fun Friday. And first of all, before we go, don't forget to go to bulvicacademy.com, BULVIC academy.com. You're going to see the books. You're going to see the a game app there. You're going to also see the new course, the bullying antidote is going to be there. You're going to see information about bullying and how we can prevent it, our annual events and all that good stuff. We're going to just keep building up our website so you all can get some great information. The World Ladies Pride, you can get it for 757-470-0224. And you can also be a special guest sponsor intern with FYI Radio Show. Mr. E will give you that information.
And if you'd like to be a special guest sponsor or intern of the most talked about radio show in the whole wide world, all you have to do is give us a call at 757-714-7861 or email us at FYIRadioshow@gmail.com. Or you can inbox us at Everette's Facebook page, Miss Yolanda, the Lady Hinton Facebook page, our FYI Facebook page. That's the information. If you'd like to be a special guest or sponsor, and keep it locked right here. So the most talked about radio show in the whole wide world. And you know, essentially, we want to thank our special guest, Mr. Brian Fuller,
Yes.
for sharing with us. Normally we'd be on sports talk with him, but now we got him in a different way where we're talking about the health and the wellness of a man.
Absolutely. So you all be blessed. Thank you so much for joining us again. Thank you for your support. We're going to see you back here on Fun Friday for What's in Your Closet Issues Concerning Women.
That's right. Them issues, we got to find out why y'all keep sneaking them clothes in the house and got them locked up in the closet and locked in the trunk of the car.
Don't nobody do that anymore.
Anyway. And wait till night to bring him in the house.
Oh no, that's old school. God bless you all. Have a wonderful, wonderful day.
2 up, 2 down.